Hi everyone, I'm Michael Short. This is Let's Go Outdoors.
Let's go outdoors where the waters run clear and cold. Mother Nature's world is better than gold. So much to see, so much to do. Let's go outdoors, me and you.
Let's Go Outdoors with Michael Short. Supported by the Alberta Conservation Association.
Hi everyone, welcome to Let's Go Outdoors. I'm Michael Short. Coming up, a look at better understanding the habitat of our provincial fish. If you're making plans to head into the backcountry, being prepared for a potential avalanche is a must. And we check in with Elma, who's gearing up for some camping tips with Alberta Parks and their New Canadians program.
Don't smile.
This is one trip I wish I could have been on, ice walking in Johnston Canyon.
You know, Elma and I were very fortunate enough to go. Johnston Canyon, just a half-hour drive on paved roads from Banff. The biggest surprise was how different this area looks in winter compared to when I was there in the summer.
Everything becomes frozen in time?
Yes, and it's absolutely stunning and so peaceful. So Alma, I hope you had a big breakfast this morning because we're doing something like 32 stories of a building.
Well, I'm not much of a walker, but I guess I'll have to be. We're here at Johnston Canyon and we're in for an adventure, hey?
Well, I see our guide is here, Christy, so let's wander over and get the lowdown on what we're going to be doing today.
Let's do it.
All right.
Hi, Christy.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome.
Really looking forward to this. Now, what are these things that you're holding, Chrissy?
And these are ice cleats, and we're going to be strapping these onto our boots to give us really good traction. For you, Elma.
Thank you.
And for you, Michael.
As you'll soon see, ice cleats are a must-have on the Johnston Canyon Ice Walk. Christy has supplied ours, but if you're coming on your own, you can rent them in Banff for about $12. You'll be glad you did.
Okay, everybody ready?
Let's do this.
Let's go.
And make sure you dress warm, same as you would if you're going skiing.
Yeah, it's minus 15 right now, and the day is going to warm up with that bit of elevation gain we're going to be experiencing. That'll keep us warm too.
Johnston Canyon is a half-hour drive from Banff on paved roads.
So here's the lay of the land. We're heading to the lower falls as well as the upper falls. Now, these time frames, summer time frames. It takes a bit longer in the winter months.
Along the way, you'll see many smaller waterfalls that make you wonder if you've been frozen in time.
That might be a good thing given your age. The steel catwalks allow for stunning views of this limestone canyon. Before you know it, we arrive at our first stop.
Wow.
Welcome to the lower falls. Isn't this beautiful?
Absolutely amazing. It amazes me that there's so much open water here, Chrissy. How is that possible?
Well, we've got a lot of water movement or kinetic energy that's allowing these plunge pools to not get completely iced over even when it's minus 40.
There are fish in this river system and they're overwintering in pools like this.
Primarily in here it's rainbow trout. Now in winter fish, their metabolic rates just slow right down. It's almost like they're in slow motion.
Alma, your metabolic rate's pretty high right now. Why don't you just...
Why don't I go take a dive and find something? Right after you, sir.
Okay.
There's something I find magical and mysterious about a tunnel on a hike. What will we find on the other side?
Hopefully not a train.
Watch your head.
Alma, you don't even have to bend over, do you?
Hey, I'm not that short.
Oh my goodness, what a view. So you look at this cathedral and you kind of just go, wow, how long did this take?
Well, we are standing right in an old plunge pool, an ancient plunge pool.
You know, there's a little part of me that kind of goes, boy, I'm kind of glad there's not a lot of people here because it's so serene.
It really is, and it's almost one of the best kept secrets here in Banff National Park.
Okay, well, let's not tell anybody about it then.
Yeah, that's true.
We make our way to the Upper Falls. In July and August, this trail is bustling with hikers of all ages. In winter, with the dropping temperatures come dropping numbers, but those ice walkers who do come are rewarded with spectacular beauty and a serenity that is distinctly different than summer. So what do we got happening here?
Well, we've got an underground spring that's come across the trail and iced over the trail. So we're gonna really test out our ice cleats, stomp our feet.
Okay, let's do it, Elma.
Do it.
Stomp your feet. Welcome to the Upper Falls. You made it.
It's beautiful.
All of this ice you see, this is from groundwater seepage, underground springs, but we also have the Upper Falls that gets iced over as well. This is one of the places that a lot of ice climbers come to climb because it's quite easily accessible. On really cold days though, they don't want to ice climb because of the brittleness of the ice.
Speaking of ice climbing, have you ever ice climbed here?
Yes, I have. This is a good spot for people to learn how to ice climb. Think you'd want to try ice climbing? See?
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Man heading up here.
Round trip from Banff, the Johnston Canyon Ice Walk is about a 4-hour excursion. Chances are you'll bump into people from all over the world.
I did this hike in October when it was no snow, and it's fantastic now.
What was your favorite part?
I love the change. Like I did it too in October, and I love the change of how, like, you know, you can see the ice, the water flowing underneath the ice, and it's really exciting to see the people ice climbing in the background, something I've never seen before, so that was really fun.
Hey, listen, if somebody would like to take a tour with you, how do they get in touch with you?
They can contact White Mountain Adventures through our website, whitemountainadventures.com.
Can't thank you enough, and what a great day.
Has been great. Thanks
Thank
for coming
you.
out.
So the best part now, Elma, we're halfway home.
That's right.
And
Just
it's
gotta
all
hike back.
downhill.
Easy peasy.
Coming up, we take a look at some new technology being used by biologists to track the movement of Alberta's provincial fish.
The Alberta Conservation Association is proud to be partnered with Alberta Fish and Game Association, Alberta Hunter Education Instructors Association, Alberta Professional Outfitters Society,
Time now for a look at our outdoor community calendar.
The Alberta Conservation Association has some new tools to better understand bull trout thanks to the help of Devon Energy. A multi-year study is taking place in the Castle River drainage system southeast of Blairmore in the Crow's Nest area. Biologists are discovering more about bull trout migration patterns. Think of this as a giant scanner one would see in a grocery store. It's specialized equipment like this electronic sensor that is providing biologists with the Alberta Conservation Association with some critical data when it comes to the movement of tagged bull trout.
All the fish that have been tagged and have swam by or over the trap is basically loaded into these scanner panels, and then the panels are uploaded into our computer, and it's picked up on our interface, and then we're able to tell which individuals had passed through the antenna.
This array was purchased with funds provided by Devon Energy and will be critical in determining if the traps set out by these biologists are working.
We're trying to identify whether or not fish are avoiding our fish traps, because we really don't know. We have these traps set out, and we really don't know if the fish are seeing this trap and turning around. So this is able to capture whether or not scanned fish do cross the antenna, see the trap, and then we'll get a secondary scan when they're coming back upstream, or if they're just not in our trap at all.
As data is collected over the life of this 5-year study, it will be shared with oil and gas companies like Devon.
Devon has been really good supporting us, and they have used our data quite well, and they've enhanced a lot of their stream crossings and whatnot based on our data. So yeah, it's a good partnership to have, and it's definitely a step forward.
For this particular study, a total of 5 traps have been set up in the drainage system. Once a fish is caught, information is collected, including DNA samples. But first, care is taken not to harm the fish.
The first thing we do when we pull a fish out of the trap is we give it an initial scan just to see if that fish has been tagged before. We're going to sedate them, and the sedation that we use is a clove oil solution, and it just puts the fish to sleep, and it just reduces the stress to that fish, and it just eases the handling for us because they're just so strong.
Once the fish has been sedated, a DNA sample can be taken. It's these tiny implants that will allow biologists to track the fish as it swims over the electronic scanners, ultimately providing an indication of the overall population of bull trout in the river system.
With that data we're going to be collecting, we're going to be recapturing some of these marked fish, and from that ratio between new fish, marked fish in total, and the ones that are recaptured, we're able to get an idea of how large the population would be.
It's hoped that studies like this will ensure bull trout remain part of Alberta's unique ecosystem for years to come.
Alberta has become a diverse province over the last number of years. People from all over the world have decided to settle here. For some, this means wanting to embrace Alberta's great outdoors. Alma took in an Alberta Parks program designed to introduce new Canadians to a number of outdoor activities.
Welcome, everybody, to Nature for Newcomers. Who knows what we're going to learn about today? Nature, fishing, hiking, camping. Yeah, biking. So all these fun activities.
And that's a pretty good lead into what the Nature for Newcomers program put on by Alberta Parks is all about. And Fish Creek Provincial Park is a perfect location to hold a course like this given its accessibility to a large immigrant population.
This is a perfect gateway park. It's easy access to get down here, and before they know it, they're in a provincial park just coming to these sessions. So I thought that'd be a great way to target a large number. I started developing the program and talking to different community organizations, and it just kind of snowballed into a 4-session series where people could come to just one, or they could come to all 4 of them. And the more they came to, the more experience and knowledge they would gain, hopefully resulting in their confidence level increasing to the point where they're able to go out to parks on their own and utilize the services that Parks provides for them.
These courses also provide a hands-on opportunity to better understand some of the camping gear. While the principles of camping are not difficult to understand, the concept of spending time in a tent, even for recreational purposes, can have a very different meaning to some new Canadians.
Some tents are so big they have 2 rooms. Some of these people are coming as refugees from another country where they lived in tent camps. And so their experience with sleeping in a tent or even being out in a forest is terrifying to them. Part of this program is giving them the knowledge that they might need to feel safe and comfortable in parks. At our last session, I had a family from Bolivia come up to me afterwards and say, I can't wrap my head around this concept of a park being safe, because in my country, they're not a safe place to go. And I think that's pretty common across the board, is for people to feel like being out in nature and wilderness is a terrifying experience. And you can sleep in your clothes, In pajamas? Naked?
Don't smile.
It's removing barriers like these, as well as providing additional information of how to get to a provincial park or what to do once you arrive, which are the main objectives of the program.
Take these hooks. Click on.
So there's all these barriers, and it's not necessarily barriers that have been put in place. They're just barriers that we never thought of before. And so we're really taking the strides to kind of break down those barriers and provide them with the information and education to let them know that those aren't actually barriers once you have the education.
For Samuel, who has immigrated from Sierra Leone, the course has been a very positive experience.
Were you acquainted with camping in your country?
Yeah.
Did you do a lot of
We
camping?
do mountain camping in my country, yes. When I was in the Scout. Yeah, we do camping.
Like a Boy Scout?
Yeah, the Boy Scout.
Okay.
Yeah.
This camp stove has a grill and a burner.
It's easy for many of us who've lived here all our lives to take a camping experience for granted, so getting new Canadians comfortable with experiencing a park outing is at the root of the course.
When somebody comes from a new country and they're burdened with finding a home, learning the language, getting a job, grocery shopping, all of these everyday things, they get weighed down and stressed out pretty easily, I think, and it can be pretty overwhelming. And I think it's important for everybody to remember that nature is here for us, to play in, to enjoy, and it is such a huge stress relief for so many people.
You take a piece of chocolate?
We can pass that message out not just to new Canadians, but anybody, to realize that it's here and it's free, so let's use it and gain the benefits from it.
Everybody roasts marshmallows over the fire usually?
And speaking of benefits, for Elma, that almost always involves food.
Now, of course, no camping trip is complete without the final and most amazing part about it, the s'more, a real Alberta tradition. I'm gonna dig into this one just like all of our new Canadians are. So good. Here we go, refinery number 2.
Coming up, it's off to a grade 4 classroom in Rocky Mountain House to sit down with these students to learn about a program called Energy in Action.
The Alberta Conservation Association is proud to be partnered with Alberta Trappers Association, Nature Alberta, Wild Sheep Foundation Alberta,
Time now for a look at our outdoor community calendar.
Trying to engage students about how oil and gas is formed can be a tough thing to do, but a group of educators have come up with a rather unique approach. We take a trip to visit a grade 4 class at St. Matthew's School in Rocky Mountain House to see how this lesson is progressing.
Are you going to run with these tools? No. Are you going to...
These grade 4 students here at St. Matthew's School in Rocky Mountain House are learning about a topic that a lot of adults would have a tough time explaining, understanding the process of extracting oil and gas.
And here, this orange sponge is going to represent the petroleum today.
This is part of the Energy in Action program initiated by the Canadian Association of Petroleum Producers.
Excellent. Very good.
The program starts out with grade 4 and 5 because at this particular time in their curriculum, they're learning about Canada's land and resources. They're also learning about renew, reuse, and recycle. This seems to be a natural fit, especially in rural areas where industry is active and kids are more exposed to the work and facilities in the field and seeing the trucks on the road. So a program like this gives some kids context to the activity they're experiencing in their particular community. Of course, making sure a balanced approach is taken is one of the key tenets of the program. Efforts are made to provide students with objective and unbiased information when it comes to understanding how oil is developed under the ground and the natural history of dinosaurs and organic matter, all leading up to the process taking place today in terms of extracting this resource. The curriculum is also tailored to the specific region of the school. So while students in Fort McMurray might get a course in oil sand development, Their counterparts in BC would be given details on how fracking works.
Here we go, refinery number 2.
A group of educators based in Calgary called Inside Education developed this unique curriculum.
Sulfur. We really try to get as many students involved, interactive and fun and engaged, because we really feel that if students have hands-on opportunities and get up to the front of the classroom, they're going to take away more from the program at the end of the day. So we really cater all our presentations to the grade level and where their learning is at. So with grade 4, they want to get up there, they want to be putting those signs on, they want to be making those trees. So we really try to get them up there and have fun. All right.
Hi, I'm Brad Fenson with the Alberta Fish and Game Association and your outdoor tip of the week. You know, I learned years ago how important it is to set up a first aid or survival kit to take with you no matter how far you're going to be from home, a vehicle, cabin, campsite. You know, there's documented cases of people getting lost and they were only a couple hundred meters from where they were staying. So it's crucial to always go prepared. Of course, some of the things that I always like to take, a flashlight or a headlamp, which is going to help me out if it gets dark. Either a lighter or waterproof matches of some type. Of course, I always take a compass. You know, a lot of people take a GPS, but if your batteries die, you're going to be in big trouble. Flagging tape can often be nice to find a trail back if there's a multitude of them to choose from. Of course, there's some painkillers that are easy to get at. A multi-tool that's going to have several different functions for knives and saws and anything that you might need it for in the woods. A space blanket is super lightweight, can be used to just get out of the weather real quickly or even to set up a shelter real quick if you need. I always carry some type of first aid kit, and this one is really nice and compact, has everything in there from band-aids to wound dressings to ointments to everything I'll need. And of course, if someone gets cold, I've got some hand warmers. And if you want to clean up before lunch, a little hand sanitizer. That's what I've done to customize mine. And of course, you can add anything to this. This is the bare necessities to get you going. And again, I've got some hand wipes and some toilet paper that's ready to go. And of course, I always take some water and some type of snacks to keep me going when I'm out there. Very compact, lightweight, weighs less than a couple pounds. It isn't going to slow you down at all, but it's really going to help you if you ever run into the situation where you need one of these items.
Still to come, are you prepared to deal with an avalanche?
The Alberta Conservation Association is proud to be partnered with Pheasants Forever, Alberta Council, Treaty 8 First Nations of Alberta, Trout Unlimited Canada.
Time now for a look at our outdoor community calendar.
There are always risks associated with backcountry travel, especially in the Rocky Mountains. And the winter months can be particularly dangerous with the potential of avalanches. But with the right training and information, you can reduce your exposure. Perhaps the most important tool you can have before heading out is your computer. It's here that you'll find all the information about snowpack analysis and avalanche conditions.
And that's kind of what our job is we're taking all of this information, we're trying to synthesize it down to something that the public can use in a more simplistic fashion. And so if they take the time to go to the website at avalanche.ca and look at the bulletins, we're just trying to give them the nuts and bolts that they can use when they go in the backcountry.
Despite all the information that is available and the countless hours public safety team members put into collecting this data and posting it for all to see, there remains a challenge to convince some groups of the dangers they face.
It really is up to the individual. They get to control their risk and they have to choose which terrain they're going into. And, you know, it's been said lots of times that even professionals, we can't outsmart the snow. We're not that smart. Nobody is. But what you can outsmart is the terrain. And what we do see, I think it's probably a combination of youthful enthusiasm and maybe ski movies and snowmobile movies that are much more aggressive these days. I think people are putting themselves in the terrain where probably they shouldn't be. And that's why we continue to have avalanche accidents every year.
Jeremy, you were explaining that there could be 3 different things that could trigger an avalanche.
Yeah, there's kind of the 3 bigs. The 3 big ones are rapid loading from heavy snowfall, loading from wind, changing the snow from here over to here and loading from that perspective. And then the other one is warming. So warming comes either in rain or in sun and above 0 temperatures. So if you have any of those 3 things, you should be on high alert for natural avalanches occurring. So as a backcountry traveler, I'm always watching for that, and we're sort of standing here looking at a couple of spots where we're going to see quite a bit of that. So up here on Tent Ridge, you can actually see the wavy texture in the snow.
Right.
And that's indicative of wind loading. So the wind is creating more depth, but also it's creating more density. And so when we have that more dense layer sitting on some sort of buried weakness, that's a recipe for avalanches. And then also over here on the part of Tent Ridge, you can see these gullies. Those are train traps where if you were anywhere in those areas, you're going to be in trouble if an avalanche gets started, and you could increase the depth of your burial because of the way that they're sort of confined features.
So after reviewing the avalanche bulletin, there are specific tools you will require: a probe, shovel, and avalanche beacon. And most important, you'll have to require some knowledge on how to use these tools.
The change in the tone here, as I'm getting really close, I actually want to get my transceiver on the snow and I want to let it do the work for me. It sounds like I'm getting really close, and then it's going to get weaker. So I come back to the strongest signal I have, and I'm just going to make a little bit of a side movement to essentially pinpoint the location. Okay, well, it sort of seems like I'm getting the best signal right about here. And that's right, that's where we're going to use the probe. And in deeper snow, this is going to go in quite some depth.
Right.
And you're going to start off with a probe right in the center of your target.
Right.
And if you're not successful, you're just going to move about 25 centimeters away on each attempt.
Okay.
And once you feel something that's not ground, you can tell that that's ground. But if you feel something soft, then you're going to leave the probe in place, and then we're going to grab our shovel.
Okay.
Okay. And then you're shoveling. At this point, you know exactly where they are, so you're going to shovel as fast as you can, and your goal is to get down to their airway and clear their mouth. And there it is. There's our transceiver, which we've got the really strong signal on. You have to realize that if you're out in the backcountry with your friends, you are the rescue team. If there's an avalanche, you need to be equipped for self-rescue because you cannot wait for professionals to arrive. As professionals, when we arrive, we might be able to help you out with first aid issues and so on, but if you have somebody under the snow, you're going to be the ones that have the best chance of recovering that person alive.
Remember, before you head out this season, check out the Avalanche Bulletin at www.avalanche.ca.
You know, Michael, it's really great to see so many people heading out to the backcountry.
Absolutely, Mary, and remember, before you do head out, check avalanche conditions.
If you would like to catch previous stories featured on Let's Go Outdoors, then track down our website at letsgooutdoors.ca.
Remember, the outdoors is here for all of us to enjoy. If you see someone taking away from that enjoyment, call the Report a Poacher line.
Till next time, I'm Mary Hulbert.
And I'm Michael Short. Let's go outdoors.
I know where I want to be, outside, wild and free. Let's go outdoors, let's go outdoors, you and me. Let's go outdoors where the waters run clear and cold. Mother Nature's world is better than gold. So much to see, so much to do. Let's go outdoors, me and you. Let's go outdoors. Let's go